What's up, y'all? So, listen, I don't want y'all to think that I'm like this, like uptight, don't know how to have fun, boring, type of energy. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that, y'all. It's that I realized, that I am being called to action, by the ancestors. So, I'm definitely picking up that call and just moving into action. You know what I'm saying? Taking my proper position. Where my birthright sits. You know what I mean? And hopefully y'all will do the same thing. But we need to talk about how important the breath is right now, and hence why, the masses are still wearing the masks. It's really disturbing. It's been disturbing. I don't even really know why, people haven't gotten it by now, but it's coming down to, pretty much now at this point, it's coming down to a matter of common sense. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way that, that you can live without air. You cannot live without the breath. You can't live without the breath. When your breath gets snatched out of your body, that's it. I mean, you are literally physically dead. You know what I mean? So I don't understand why it would make any sense for anybody to go along with, being restricted, from air at any time. You know what I mean? Unless there is some type of, proof that, we are being, completely and utterly, attacked with some real fucking evidence. You know what I mean? And of course, people are going to say, oh, well, there is evidence because people have died of COVID. Yes, people have died of COVID, but people have also died of the flu. People have also died of the fucking, you know what I'm saying? People have died of a lot of shit, okay? People have died of a lot of things that can compromise the bronchioles, that can compromise the lungs. So we cannot get caught up on, on falling into, these type of traps because of the ignorance that we have for our own bodies. Because as adults, we need to hear this. We need to hear how much of a disappointment that we sometimes are. Okay? Cause this is a disappointment. This is a huge disappointment. I mean, with the lack of, I'm just going to say it, with the lack of common sense. You know what I mean? If anybody asks you to cover up your nose and your mouth for over a year, okay, and then they come out with this, this magic shot thing, that's not even FDA approved. It's an experimental, whatever it is, something should trigger, by now that something is wrong with this whole thing. All right. And if not, then we really need to understand that you need to understand the type of sickness that has to be going on. Okay. And in order for us to grow, in order for us to get to a higher sense of self, we are going to have to admit that there is a definite sickness. Okay. There is a definite plague. Okay. And it definitely is going on inside of the body, inside of the mind, because there's no excuse for this type of behavior. Just because another adult tells you that you need to be doing something, that does not mean that you need to be doing it. That means immediately that one would need to go and start researching that shit and not just keep putting it off. You know what I mean? Until somebody else figures it out and then, disposes the info, to the next adult. I'm sorry, divulges the info to the next adult. Now, every adult should be taking responsibility for their own knowledge. You know what I mean? Yeah, if we come across things that need to be shared, yes, but not one adult needs to be sitting back and not looking in to what the fuck has been going on, okay, for all this time. Nobody should be sitting comfortably not researching anything. Nobody should be doing that. And I don't care if you are working 15 hours a damn day, because you are making the choice to continue to work 15 hours a day when, you know, your enemy is working 20 hours a day trying to figure out how they're going to stomp on your neck. There's no excuse anymore. There's no excuse anymore. We can't continue to make excuses like this. We just can't. Okay? We need to understand, to connect the dots with all this shit, because in the time that we are in, you know, based on prophecy, based on the occult, based on metaphysics, okay, the breath, you know, is equivalent to the breath of life. It's equivalent to the Holy Spirit. Okay? There is no way that one can live without the breath. It's just like I said before, there's no way one can live without the breath. If somebody takes their hands right now, or takes a pillow right now and puts it over your face, what are you going to do? You are going to be kicking and screaming to get that what? To get that breath. So why wouldn't it be the same thing with the masks? Your body is screaming for for oxygen. Your cells are screaming for oxygen. All of that is screaming for oxygen. Your brain. You cannot be this is like the art of war. You know what I mean? You snatch away the heart, and the breath of your enemy. How are any of you supposed to think, let alone be able to fight back when you are oxygen deprived? You can't even think straight. When you can't think straight, you can't think straight. So anybody that's like pro-mask, don't ever try to tell me shit, because you're not coming from clean thoughts. You're coming from toxic thoughts. You're coming from toxic, opinionated, mind closed places. I'm not trying to say that I'm better, but I know for damn sure that that my mind has not been filled up with goddamn my own bullshit. You know what I mean? There is an exchange that takes place with your breath and the trees. Okay? There is supposed to be an exchange that constantly goes on. You know what I mean? Inhale or exhale, inhale or exhale. There's always supposed to be a give and take, give and take, give and take. Okay? Because all you've been doing is giving your body your own bullshit, your own toxin, your own thoughts, your own fears. Okay? And now what's happening is it's transpiring into the children. Okay? It's transpiring into the children. The ones that are counting on you as the adults to know better, to know when, you're under attack and your offspring is under attack. You guys, we don't just go along with this shit. You understand? Like, we cannot keep laying down, okay, and allowing the enemy to keep the foot on the neck. Okay? It can't keep happening, okay, because we keep seeing the same results. And so it's like, at some point, something has to change. Something has to change. There has to be a certain level of rebellion that has to happen. What do I mean by rebellion? I mean to say, fuck the masks, at least. Which is going to be looked at as rebellion, when in all actuality, it's not. All you're trying to do is breathe clean air and live. But it will be looked at as rebellion. And see, that's a part of why you can't have any fear, and you have to bring yourself up to a courage-based mindset where you are able, okay, to literally look at people and literally tell them to kiss your ass, because you are trying to breathe. Period. So if you want to be ignorant, then you be ignorant by yourself. Okay? You sit there and breathe in your own carbon dioxide all by yourself. Okay? But I'm not going to do it. And you're going to have to dig deep and find that courage. Okay? Because the ones that are understanding, this whole fact, not a concept, not a belief. The ones that are understanding this are in the higher chakras. You know what I'm saying? Because for people to even understand or fathom, any of this, cosmic shit that is going on, you have to have already passed the lower chakras. You know what I'm saying? You have to have already past a certain density to even start to be able to receive certain downloads. You know what I mean? So it's like all of this is a process, but we can't also keep using the excuse like, oh, okay, well, everybody's gonna get there, at their own time. Yeah, well, check this out. Like, the procession happens every 26,000 years. So how the universe is looking at this is, y'all had 26,000 years. The universe does not know. Okay? The universe does not know that we don't know. Okay? Because our ancestors, again, left all this information for us. It's used in the form of symbols. Okay? It's used in the form of symbols. So we are in a time, okay, where this info, this info is left. The breath is the Holy Spirit. It is coming from the comet dust. It is coming from the atmosphere. Okay? The breath of life, okay, literally in mythology and in metaphysics is a real thing. You're supposed to be breathing in bacteria right now because that's all you are. That's all anybody is. That's how things are created. They're created by bacteria. Okay? Okay, you have to breathe in bacteria in order to transmutate. That's a part of it. You know what I mean? Just think about the ancients, okay? And the opening of the mouth ceremony and all of that. Okay? How are you going to get any of the cosmic information if you are covering up your portals? Okay? The Most High did not give you a nose and a mouth, okay? And give you air. Okay? And all this good divineness for you to be covering it up. It's an insult. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, if we're gonna be almost 2 years in now, okay, and you have been disappreciative of the breath, then imagine if, the cosmos was like, well, you don't deserve to breathe now. You don't deserve it. Why? Because you're not fighting for life. You are a promoter of death. If you are out here trying to bully people because they have on a mask, then you are a promoter of death, even though you don't think that you are, because you're thinking reverse. You have a reverse mindset. Okay? It does not make sense to not be breathing in clean air. It doesn't make sense. And if you're one of those people out there, okay, who disagree with that, then I'm sorry, you don't make sense. And it's time. You have to lay the ego down, because this is it doesn't take a rocket scientist, because the only people that should be having a problem with this are the youngins. This should not be something that the adults are arguing about. It's like really pathetic that we are there in the mind where we are arguing about breathing. Breathing is equivalent to life. Like the breath is life. It's called the breath of life. Listen, okay, we have to understand that whoever we are getting our information from, okay, which again is are things that are not even of our same genetic structure. Okay? That is where we are falling into all these bullshit ass traps. Okay? It is time to stop letting people, okay, that have no idea what the hell they're talking about tell you about what time it is. Okay? Melanated people we are children, okay, of the sun. Okay? We are in a time now where the literal sun itself is cranking up its frequency notches on this planet. That is equivalent, okay, to the new world. Okay? Why would they call it a new world if nothing was supposed to be new about it? What's supposed to be new about it? Your DNA is. You're supposed to be new about it. We can't go into a new world with your old ways and your old mindsets. They have to be assassinated. Okay? Again, the mask is symbolic for your mask. The lower nature part of yourself. The mask that you always wear in front of people. Like that, that fake part of yourself. Y'all need to watch the movie They Live too. Okay? Because we have to understand, okay, that with the religion, the metaphysics, and all of that, okay, we have to understand something, okay? You have different beings that are here from other star systems, and they put this in movies all the time, okay? A lot of the Caucasian race would be equivalent to vampires that are in movies. Okay? They know that the sun is now being cranked up in frequency because everything is frequency. They can't deal with the new rays of the sun that are coming in. Why? Because they're not from the sun. We are. So what do you think is going to happen? The same thing that happens in every vampire movie that we watch. They have to hide from the goddamn sun. Hence, they gonna give you a son though and call him Jesus. Look how they playing y'all. Okay? The new world is a turn up on the sun. The rays of the sun. Period. It's spitting out bacteria out of the sun that you are supposed to be breathing in. Prana. Okay? And we don't understand this because we are not studying. And we are getting caught up in the illusion. And we are getting caught up in the thought that everybody just has all this time to waste. No, you don't have all this time to waste because the time is coming whether you are ready or not. You don't have all this time to waste. You had time. You had time. You know what I'm saying? Like the calling is now. Okay? So we need to understand, and we need to pay attention to like who are the gods and goddesses that are around you. You can tell who they are. You can tell who they are by their conscious behaviors. You can tell who they are by the transmutation that you can see in a lot of your family and friends who is completely and utterly different than they were before. And I don't mean on I don't mean just stumbling onto some knowledge and no, because there's one thing to start waking up and finding out about the knowledge, but there's another thing there's another thing where you are the knowledge. You are the Akashic records. You are going through spiritual changes from the inside out. You are becoming an alchemist. Those are your gods and your goddesses, and we need to understand that. Okay, because we need to stop with this whole shit of letting people tell you what your history is. We have to get out of that shit, y'all. Okay? The sun is returning. The sun is turning up the goddamn heat on this place. Okay? Okay? They need you in a subservient position at all times. If you guys are not breathing in the prana, okay? If you guys are not breathing in the prana, okay, then I don't understand how how you're supposed to receive the breath of life. It literally happens like a mythology story. We have to open up the mind, okay? This is not a logical thing. It's a mystical, magical experience that is supposed to be taking place, and it cannot take place with certain species. This is very important, and that's the species that you guys are counting on. That's the species that you guys keep listening to. These species are out here trying to kill your babies, yo, and y'all steady listening to them. How many of y'all's parents done been vaccinated and shit? How many of our grandparents have been, mind controlled by the goddamn church, yo? Yo, this is for them. We need to be doing this. Somebody in the family got to wake up. Somebody has to break the chain, because until somebody breaks the chain, okay, then you are, you have a soul contract here. Okay, until somebody breaks the chain, you need to understand the type of contract that you will be obligated to fulfill until you do that. You don't just get out of it. Okay? You are born into sin. What does that mean? It means you're born into ignorance. You are born into not knowing who the hell you are. That is the mask. You are born into not knowing the spiritual side of yourself. You are born into worshiping the white man. That's a fact. Got to break it. You have to break the cycle. You have to understand what this time is all about. Okay? They're a vampire race of people. So the Bible story is talking about you versus you. In a sense, yes, you versus you. But however, there are other real entities here that don't belong here. And you're allowing your body to be hijacked by these people by wearing a mask. You're wearing a mask and your body is being hijacked by the program. Snatch these masks off your babies. Like, what y'all doing? Take them off of your children, because you need to understand what this is. You need to open up your minds. You need to open up your minds. You need to understand that, we are not the only beings here. Okay? I know that's hard for some people to fathom, but we have to open up our minds. We are not the only beings here, guys. Okay? There is definitely a spiritual prophecy time that we are in right now. It is 2012. Okay? Get out of the idea of constantly trying to put off your spirituality, saying, we all get there, at a certain time. Well, no, that's very arrogant to even. It's like, no, you have to know the times of when eons end and when eons begin, and you need to fall in line to the times of the cosmos. The cosmos don't fall in line for the time that you want. You have to fall in line with the time it wants. And that's why our ancestors went through all the trouble of leaving all that info for us. Okay? There is a cosmic debt that needs to be paid by a certain group of people on this planet, and it's called the sun. Okay? These people are allergic to the goddamn sun. They be in it too long. What happens? They get melanoma. They can't stand the sun. That's what the vampire shit is all about. So if the sun is returning and we grasp the concept, the esoteric, metaphysical, symbolism of all of that, then we have to know that they're talking about the sun behind the sun that is returning, which is Sirius, okay? Star system, Sirius. I mean, even in some of the newer model cars, Sirius is like in your car. Oh, they shortened it now for Siri. You know what I'm saying? They know what time it is. Sirius is returning. Those are beings from different star systems that are all here. You have the ancients that are returning in your body, in certain bodies. There are certain people here, again, y'all, that are of a different genetic structure. Some have different proteins, with the amino acids and all of that are, more ancient and more structured than others. Okay, these are the ones that are trying to help the others to transition, you know what I'm saying, into another realm of thought, into another realm of consciousness, because that's what it's all about. Because you can't interact and do these things, you know what I'm saying, if you are not initiated into doing them. That's what certain people are here to do. It's just that you have to start deprogramming your mind to understand that the thoughts that you think are not your thoughts if you're not awakened. Those are programmed thoughts, templates of thoughts to keep you locked into certain realities. And you'll keep repeating them over and over and over again until you figure that out. Huh? Did you do something differently to create that courage? Did you sustain from things that, that you didn't think that you would be able to sustain from? Because these are milestones and steps that one needs to take in order to elevate. This is a process. We have to understand that the process, is that we had time to do it. You know what I mean? So we need to understand something here. We are clearly under a attack on a global level. This is not even just a black and white thing. This is a global attack when it's not supposed to be. This is supposed to be a global uplift in consciousness. Okay? But what we have to stop doing, okay, is apologizing, okay, for our dominant, beautiful, genetic, harmonious, melanated, okay, harmonic, beautiful ass system. We have got to stop apologizing for that. Okay? We are literally, we were already born on a certain type of frequency. We are people that already come from the heart, because if we didn't, there wouldn't be a white person left standing on this planet with all the shit they done put us through, man. If we were as wicked as they try to make us look on fucking TV, we would walk past every whitey and just start hooking the fuck off on all of them. Okay? Yes, we would. If we were that evil, okay, then how come back in the day our literal breasts were in white babies' mouths? So we weren't that savage. You guys listen to a savage ass species of vampire. Y'all taking y'all orders from vampires who cannot deal with the sun, which is returning. And yes, those are comets. You have to be able to look up there and see the difference between the chemtrail planes and the comets. There is a difference. You have to look. If you want to get to your birthright, you're going to need to stop bullshitting. Okay? You're going to need to, again, find some courage. You are going to need to learn how to fucking get by yourself, start the meditation process, and understand that the universe is not going to wait for you. Either you're going to get with it or you're going to get left. Okay? We need to understand we are in the divine feminine time. That's where the word Mason comes from. It is Ma and the sun, which is the divine feminine and the divine masculine. That is what Kobe Bryant and his daughter, that's what the symbology in that was all about. They're telling you what time it was. And then what? He was called what? The Black Mamba. What the fuck is that? That's a snake. What is that? That's the Kundalini energy. Huh? Nipsey Hussle, what was his role? Who did he play? He played the Christ. Okay? You have to understand the story. You have to understand. Look at his life. Okay? The life is saying that you start dark, right? Quote, dark. Okay? You have all the chips stacked against you. Okay? And you come out of that dark into the light. Okay? You pass all of your karmic debt tests. Okay? You got through it. It's not the Christ that you guys have been brainwashed to believe. That man is definitely a manifested human form of Christ. And you're supposed to be too. I know I am. Okay? That's what it is. He conquered all of his, karmic debt. And then became a humanitarian. Okay? And also went above and beyond to try to help so many people within his community on top of that. You know what I'm saying? So we just have to look and see the roles that people play within the mythology story. Okay? Because, it's like I done told y'all before, right? That right now, the calling is supposed to be, we are all supposed to be saddling up to be that Christ right now. Male and female. You are supposed to be conquering your bullshit. Clearing the way for your ancestors to be able to march their way through your DNA. So you can become all of those gods. All of them. Sekhmet, Horus, Bastet, Anubis, Osiris, Isis, Ma'at. All of them. They're all supposed to be a part of your energies. Okay? That's the way that things are supposed to be. Okay? For the ancients that have returned. Stop letting people try to tell you what the, stop letting people try to tell you about your ancestry, man. They don't have no fucking right to tell you shit. They're trying to tell you by studying your DNA. So they're going to study your DNA and try to man, no. No. Y'all going to have to wake up or get left. Y'all going to have to become disciplined or get left. Y'all going to have to find the love within yourselves or get left. And don't get fooled by that, we all have to love each other kumbaya thing. That's not what that's talking about. And I'm not saying that we don't have to love each other. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, do not get caught up in thinking that they're talking about loving people outside of yourself first. That's what I'm talking about. Because everybody's going to get caught up in that. We all need to hold hands and, you know what I'm saying? And goddamn sing, we shall overcome and all that bullshit. That's not what it's talking about. It's talking about finding that inner burning love within yourself. A reuniting of the twin flame. Which is your soul. Okay? You cannot pour all this love to people outside of yourself, and you haven't poured it into yourself yet. You don't know what love is until you love it. That's the fucking realest. Man, look, we have to understand that the love that we need to understand first is the love within ourselves. That's the love that needs to happen through your heart chakra. You have to learn empathy. You have to learn to love yourself first. And stop pouring your energy and giving your energy all the time to all these outside entities. That's not the way it works. Those are illusions. Okay? Those are figments of your imagination of karma streams that you have not been able to tune off. Okay? So, yeah, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Mask off. It's symbolic. Y'all need to be breathing in this. Y'all need to be breathing in this cosmic bacteria. Okay? Y'all have to be breathing in this cosmic bacteria. Okay? Because they know what time it is. They know exactly what time it is. Okay? Because it's called lambda. It's called lambda. Y'all need to look into that. Y'all need to look into that. The last known ancestor, bacteria, DNA. That lambda. And you go outside and be opening up your nostrils and breathing that in. And y'all need to understand that the art of war is to slow y'all asses down. Okay, turn the population gay and strip away the empathy of the people. And by golly, it's working. So, all right, y'all. Bye.